mini camps just started today, and we're gonna go through everything from the numbers that some guys are gonna be wearing. One guy in particular who he reminds me of from last year. Everybody's so in love with this seventh round pick. I keep calling him a Greek god, but I think it's more. I think it's better to say Nigerian god because Nigerian and who he reminds me of. Well, not in a physical sense, but in kind of a production sense or the ceiling sense, um, and what he can become or what he can do uh, with a guy who's already here in comparisons of a guy who's already here who actually had a really good season. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Sean Mannion was actually there too, and with not a lot of plays to be run for offensive coordinator, so he kind of reverted back to something very familiar to him. We're gonna look at that. We got that video. And Eric Stowers, the tight end that we drafted in the second round. Everybody knows how good he is as a pass catcher. From what I've heard that he can't block. Run blocking is just very, very foreign to him. And though he is a way better pass catcher than Grant Calcaterra, I felt like we were somewhere near the same thing. But I got reason to believe that we aren't. He might not have to. All right, let's get into the numbers. Luke Akers. Luke Akers is wearing number 2. Same as David Akers. I don't want you to actually beat David Akers because you are your own person. But in the same sense, if you can give us David Akers production, I'll take that. I'll take that. So it was a lot of guys. I would say a lot of guys. It was our 7th round pick. Colton Payton. I want to say our 5th round pick. Keyshawn James Newby. Or Nabai. He's wearing the number 50. He signed his contract today. Eric Stowers has not, but Markel Bell signed his. Makai Moore signed his. Keyshawn signed his. And Usar Bernard, he signed his. Usar Bernard signed his. So it's 4 rookies. I think it's 4 rookies that actually signed their deal today. And that's smooth. You know what I'm saying? Smooth. We got to get Eli Stowers on our deal. I think Colt Payton, we might have signed his deal. Some other guys out there, but as of right now, we got 5 rookies that have signed a deal. Let's go on. Since we're talking Usar Bernard, he he's been taking some valuable reps, man. And he looked like he might have played a little bit. He is still, in my opinion, if you guys are looking, if y'all checking out my videos, y'all hear me say it time and time again, he is a little stiff in the hips. So I don't expect him to move fluent like like a cornerback or something like that, even a tight end. So I believe that he still got this transformer type movement. So I don't know how much that'll impact him playing the game at D tackle. But it's just something I noticed. He has a ceiling of more Jumbo. Now, you might say, "Oh no, his ceiling is way bigger than that." I'm just talking in a draft pick thing because he's a 7th round pick. You know who else is a 7th round pick? More Jumbo. More Jumbo is a round pick, and more Jumbo has actually been playing really well. I'm gonna read a little something off for you. This is amongst all D tackles. All D tackles. In pressures, Royal Drummond had 43 pressures last season. That's 8. He don't even start. Okay? Okay. He had hurries. He had 34 hurries. That's 8th in the league of amongst D tackles. He don't start. He don't start. I wouldn't say give him the bulk of the. He's just good. He's just a really good rotational piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm just list. You know what I'm saying? His pressure rate was 10.8%, 9th amongst all D tackles. He don't start, y'all. He had 5 sacks last season, 9th amongst all D tackles. He don't start. I want to put that in perspective. He do not start. They go, "Hey, he tired," and then he go in. I'm just saying. That is good company. That's good company. That's good company for Bernard. Somebody who has never played football ever. That's good company. You know. So I want to go back to Keyshawn James Nubai. Reminds me, if y'all remember, we had got a guy, an undrafted free agent, last year. His name was Antonio Powles Ryland. I was really high on this kid. He did not make the team. But one thing that stuck out to me is the kid had 22 sacks for Virginia Tech. Now, he's with the Cincinnati Bengals now, so I'm not harping over that. But what I'm saying is Keyshawn James has all the pass rushing moves. All of them. All of them. Now, he jumped around. He never stayed at the same college long, but he was productive in every last place he's been. You got to have moves for that. So I think if we value, I don't know if he makes the team because the edge room is going to get pretty crowded. I don't know if he makes the team, but if he does, he could probably be really, really good for us. Really good for us. Okay, let's get into Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion was working out with Coach Payton, and I guess with no calls to play, the call, you're not the OC, so you with nothing to call, he had to do something to kind of to be involved. And why not play tight end for your quarterback, for your rookie quarterback? That's what he did. He played tight end for the rookie quarterback and caught some balls. Like, he just went straight back to quarterback coach. And he was teaching them stuff. You could see him go back to him, teach him stuff, and, and then have him do it. I think he's going to be very valuable for us. Mainly Jalen Hurts, because it's going to be a lot for Jalen Hurts to learn. And it seems like Sean Payton can teach the best of them. Jordan Love, he had looking really, really good. In my opinion, Jordan Love's not that good. He's just not. Malik Willis. A lot of people think that he's better than Jordan Love. He's not that good. My opinion. So, I mean, you got those guys. He had those guys looking nice. I mean, until we played them, then they weren't looking that nice. But they were looking nice for most of the season. All right. Eric Stowers. The knock on him is he can't block. You know, we've had guys like that, Greg Calcaterra. You know, but we've had guys like that. This guy's a much better catcher than Greg Calcaterra might ever been. Like Greg Calcaterra could have uh, fused into somebody else, and he still would be a better pass catcher than he is. But I have reason to believe, not me, a lot of people have reason to believe that he won't have to because of the style that Sean Mannion wants to run. So let's look at it. I got a couple of plays in which they ran where the second tight end didn't really have to block. It was pickable stuff. Pickable stuff. So, sure did. Look like he got to learn how to do no blocking. But if you look up that video, you look up the video where I showed you him blocking, he has the want to. He has the want to, bro. Like all he got to do is learn the technique of it. We don't need him blowing nobody off the ball. You know what I'm saying? At tight end, you know what I'm saying? Like win your matchups you're supposed to win. Corners and safeties. Them the ones you're supposed to win. We don't necessarily need you to win against linebackers. If you do, that's great. But we don't necessarily need you to win against linebackers. While we on, well, that's it, man. That's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on. If you don't miss no video, we out. Let's go, Birds.